It's insane to hear heinous accusations of violence, sexual violence, that she's attributed to me, that she's accused me of.
Johnny Depp testifying in his rebuttal case, saying this is the first time in 6 years he's been able to tell his story. It's one of the top 3 wins for Johnny Depp in the defamation trial with his ex-wife, Amber Heard. I'm Anjanette Levy, and welcome to Law and Crime's Sidebar Podcast. I'm at the Fairfax County Courthouse on Verdict Watch, and we're looking at the top 3 wins for Johnny Depp during his case. Number 1, Depp testifying. He claims Hollywood canceled him after Amber Heard's domestic abuse allegations became public, and that it only got worse after Heard published her op-ed in the Washington Post in 2018. Depp denies Heard's claims that he sexually assaulted her on 3 occasions, including in Australia, where Heard claimed Depp raped her with a liquor bottle.
No human being is perfect, certainly not. None of us. But I have never in my life committed sexual battery, physical abuse, all these outlandish, outrageous stories of me committing these things and living with it for 6 years and waiting to be able to bring the truth out. So this is not easy for any of us. I know that. But no matter what happens, I did get here, and I did tell the truth, and I have spoken up for what I've been carrying on my back reluctantly for 6 years.
Another big moment for Depp, former TMZ employee Morgan Tremaine testifying about getting the tip that Amber Heard would be filing for the domestic violence restraining order on May 27, 2016, at the Los Angeles County Courthouse. This goes to Depp's argument that Heard wanted the news about the restraining order to get publicity.
What was your team of paparazzi supposed to do while they were at the Los Angeles courthouse on May 27, 2016?
Their objective was to capture her leaving the courthouse, and then she was going to sort of stop and turn towards the camera to display the bruise on the right side of her face, the alleged bruise.
Did your team of videographers get the shot of Amber Heard?
We did.
What is the difference between receiving a tip from a news producer and any other source?
If it's any other source, it would have to be verified by copyright. If it was anything that was received directly through a news producer, then they go through that process to verify the source.
Did you do anything to verify the tip on May 27, 2016 related to Amber Heard?
I did not.
Why not?
Because it had come directly from a news producer.
Does that mean it had been verified?
It means that they had verified that tip and deemed that it was credible.
Then, Tremaine said a couple of months later, he handled the process of purchasing the copyright of the kitchen cabinet video that Heard shot of Depp, slamming cabinet doors and pouring a large glass of wine.
How much time had passed from the time you received the kitchen cabinet video to the time it was posted on TMZ?
About 15 minutes.
Did any other tabloids other than TMZ post this video?
Objection,
No,
leading and cause for hearsay.
Did any other tabloids?
Overruled.
Mr. Tremaine, go ahead.
No, they did not.
And why not?
Because it was a TMZ exclusive.
And what does that mean?
It means the TMZ owns the copyright to it. So it can't be distributed by any other media source without backlinking to TMZ, and they wouldn't be able to upload that media without getting a copyright strike.
Have you seen the kitchen cabinet video that was played in this trial?
I have, yes.
How does that video that was played in this trial compare to the one you received on August 12, 2016?
When I had clicked the direct link that we received and watched the video in its entirety, it was much shorter than the video we had received, than the video that's been played in this trial. There was a bit at the beginning that was played here in which Ms. Heard is seemingly sort of sitting at the camera and getting into position. And then there's a bit at the end where she's seemingly sniggering and looks at the camera. That part was not present in what we received.
Did TMZ edit the video?
No, not even a little. When we receive something and it's edited, there's a clear indicator because there's sort of a journalistic practice that uses when there's an edit, you do what's called like a white flash transition, which covers the entire screen with white to very clearly indicate to everybody there was an edit here for time or whatever, just to make it a little more compelling. But in this case, it was not edited as I was staring at the machine and edited it and present for the entirety of receipt to publishing.
Another big moment for Johnny Depp. Amber Heard's admission during her rebuttal testimony on cross-examination by Camille Vasquez that she wrote the Washington Post op-ed because Depp was receiving so much support from the public.
Ms. Heard, at the beginning of your cross-examination last week, I showed you an audio where you told Mr. Depp to tell the jury, tell the judge, tell the world that he is a victim of domestic abuse. Do you remember that?
That's correct.
And you testified you found it hard to believe that Mr. Depp would tell the world that he's a victim of domestic abuse, didn't you?
I said I find it hard to believe that he would do that knowing that he himself had beat me up for 5 years.
But he has told the world that he's your victim of domestic abuse, hasn't he?
Well, he started to say that only recently. He didn't make that claim up until very recently. So when we signed our divorce agreement and we signed a statement saying that neither party had ever said false claims for financial gain, it was relevant and important to me because I was the only one making the accusations. I was the only one making those claims. He wasn't doing that at the time, and he signed his name to it.
You didn't expect as many people to show up and testify on his behalf that did you?
Incorrect.
When you told this jury under oath that you never assaulted, actually, strike that, sorry. When you told this jury under oath that you punched Mr. Depp because you thought of Mr. Depp pushing Kate Moss down the stairs, you didn't expect Ms. Moss to agree to testify that never happened, did you?
Incorrect. I know how many people will come out of the woodwork to be in support of Johnny.
So you think Ms. Moss needs to come out of the woodwork to testify for Mr. Depp?
Everybody who was around in the 90s and the early aughts knew that rumor. I had heard that rumor from multiple people. Of course, that's what flashed through my head when my violent husband not only swung for me, but all of a sudden swung for my sister. Of course I thought of that. I did not expect her to show up or not expect her to show up. It didn't matter. It doesn't change what I believed at the time when we were on the stairs and I thought he was going to kill my sister by pushing her down the stairs.
You told this jury under oath that Mr. Depp was aggressive and trashed a trailer in Hicksville. You didn't expect the manager of the Hicksville property, Morgan Knight, to come forward and testify that wasn't true, did you?
Incorrect. I've already been through trials with this man. I know how many people will come out in support of him.
When you told this jury under oath that you had no idea that the paparazzi would be at the courthouse on May 27th, 2016, you didn't expect a TMZ employee to show up to testify that TMZ had been alerted that you would be at the courthouse and knew exactly which side of your face to take a picture of, did you?
I know how many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed. I was speaking to that phenomenon. How many people will come out in support of him and will fall to his power? He is a very powerful man, and people love currying favor with powerful men.
Currying favor and risking jail time for committing perjury?
Excuse me? I didn't hear your question.
You didn't hear my question?
Ms. Vasquez, if you do mind, please just repeat the question. I didn't hear you.
Curry favor and commit perjury in this courtroom?
I have seen people do this.
For a powerful man?
I have seen people do this time and time again.
So there are the three big wins for Johnny Depp during his trial. I'm Anjanette Levy at the Fairfax County Courthouse. Thanks so much for listening to Law and Crime Sidebar Podcast. You can find us on Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you get your podcasts. We'll see you next time.